Hello everyone, I am Dr. Ekta Bhushan, teaching physical education at Indira Gandhi Institute of Physical Education and Sports Sciences, University of Delhi. In this series, we will discuss different topics associated with sports training, but today in particular, we will discuss the topic Introduction to Sports Training. So in journal, the word training is commonly used term in human language, but in broad sense, training may be defined as an organized and systematic instructional process which aim is to improve the individual's physical, psychological and intellectual performance capacity. In sports, the term training is often used by the players, coaches and scientists, but there are some disagreements among the coaches and scientists regarding the exact meaning of this term. Because the experts, those who belongs to sports medicine, are in the opinion that sports training is simply a doing of physical exercise, whereas some other experts understood the meaning of the word in the form of interval training, strength training, technical training and tactical training. In the light of the various concepts, meaning of the term and nature of the training, it is essential to the study the sum of the important definitions given by the various experts in the field of sports. So let's see some definitions of sports training. So sports training is the basic form of preparation by sports person, or sports training based on scientific knowledge is a pedagogical process of sports perfection through which a systematic effect on psychophysical performance ability and the performance readiness aims at leading the sports person to high and the highest performance. This is by Mathieu. Then sports training is a scientifically based and pedagogical organized process through planned and systematic effect on the performance ability and performance readiness aims at sports perfection and performance improved as well as at the contest in sports competition. This is by Here. So let's see what are the aims of sports training. So the main aim of sports training is to prepare a sports person for a highest possible performance in a main competition in a particular sport event. Besides this, following should be considered at the aim of sports training. So first can be improvement of physical fitness, acquisition of motor skills, improvement of tactical efficiency, education and improvement of mental capabilities. So let's see, first one is improvement of physical fitness. So the performance in sports generally depends upon the physical fitness of a sports person. Hence, the improvement of various components of physical fitness or motor ability is the prime aim of sports training. Every sports activity needs specific type of physical fitness, but in this view, the development of physical fitness should not be ignored, because specific fitness is depend on the general fitness. The next one is acquisition of motor skills. So every sports activity needs certain movement procedure to tackle a particular task which refers to a technique. When this technique is learned and perfect, it is called as skill. Whenever sportsmen indulge in technical training, aim of which is acquired skill is particular sports. Technique training is differ from sports to sports. If we take the example of gymnastics and diving, which require greater amount of technical training, whereas track event needs very less amount of technique to be learned. Then improvement of tactical efficiency. Tactical training in sports competition helps the sportsman in such a way where he or she makes the best use of his abilities, skills and all external factors which are beneficial to attain high level of performance and hinder the opponent to do so. Tactical training includes knowledge of rules, tactical abilities and tactical training. Therefore, improvement of tactical efficiency is considered to be the important aim of sports training. The next one is education and improvement of mental capabilities. So, the performance in any sports event up to some extent depends on the personality of a sports person. Therefore, education and improvement of mental capabilities is also considered as one of the aim of sports training. Education in sports includes development of positive attitude towards competition, dedication and devotion towards particular sports or event, sincerity and honesty, self-confidence and optimum level of aspiration and formation of good habits. Keeping all these things in mind, it is the moral duty of every physical education teacher, instructor and coach to educate the sportsmen through sports training. Now, let us see what are the objectives of sports training. So, first objective is personality development. One of the main objective of sports training is the all-round development of personality of a sports person, because a good personality counts a lot in sports competition and attainment of highest possible performance. Various personality traits such as drive, assertion, drive determination, self-confidence, leadership, emotional maturity, trainability, consciousness and mental toughness can be developed through sports training and education. These factors play an essential role in all-round development of sports person and in achieving higher performance in sports competition. The next objective can be improvement of physical fitness. So, the performance in sports generally depends upon physical fitness of a sports person. Every sport activity needs a specific type of physical fitness, and hence the improvement of various components of physical and skill related fitness like strength, speed, coordinative abilities, endurance and flexibility is an important aim and objective of sports training. Through training, these motor qualities can be developed separately as well as in the combination with each other. These qualities are a prerequisite for good performance in sports. Therefore, adequate time should be spent so as to train these motor abilities to optimal level. The requirement of these abilities differ from sports to sports. To train these motor abilities, the sports person have to regular participate in journal, specific and competitive exercise schedule which are specific to a sport. Sports training should be concentrated mainly to the development of the kind of fitness that is needed for the specific sports event or game concerned. The development of desired level of fitness and its components takes several years of systematic training. This needs the use of different types of physical exercises and various types of training methods in sports training program for sports person and trainees. Now, the next objective is sports specific physical development. So, sports specific development improves absolute and relative strength, muscle mass and elasticity. specific strength, power or muscular endurance according to the sport's requirements, movement and reaction time, and coordination and suppleness. This training creates the ability to perform all movements, especially those required by the sports, with ease and smoothness. The next is acquisition of sports skills. So, this includes motor skills as well as basic movement skills. Fundamental motor skills are prerequisites to the learning of sports specific skills. Every sports activity requires to observe certain specific movement procedures to tackle a particular task. This movement procedure is known as technique, and when this technique is learned and perfected, it leads to skills development. Whenever sports person include in technical training, they focus on acquisition of motor skills such as hipping, jumping, skipping, kicking, throwing, catching and striking are prerequisites of the learning of sports specific skills of basketball, football, gymnastics, tennis, cricket, badminton, etc. The next objective is technical factors. So, technical factors involves developing the capacity to perform all technical actions correctly, perfecting the required technique based on a rational and economical performance with the highest possible velocity, high amplitude and demonstration of force, performing specific technique under normal and unusual circumstances, example weather, improving the technique of related sport and ensuring the ability to perform all movement correctly. The next objective is improvement of tactical efficiency. So, tactical air training is designed to improve various strategies and is based upon analysis of the tactics of opponents. Specific training in sports help the sports person to make the best use of their abilities and technique so that the chances of success in competition are increased. The training develops three kinds of tactics: offensive, defensive and high performance tactics. Tactical efficiency is enhanced by providing the sports person with knowledge of rules and repeated opportunities to perfect tactical abilities in them. Now, the next one is improvement of mental abilities. So, improvement of mental abilities are tactical for a high level performance in any sports. The training aims at development of positive attitude towards sports and competition, dedication and devotion towards particular sports or event, sincerity and honesty, self-confidence and optimum level of aspiration. Mental training is an integral and important part of sports training. Nowadays, in the higher competitive era, high demands are put on the mental training of sports person. They are under tremendous stress and pressure, both internal and external. The next is team capabilities. So, in some sports, team sports, relay, rowing or cycling, team preparation is one of the coach's main objective. The coach can accomplish this by establishing harmony in the team's physical, tactical and strategical preparation. The coach must establish such a concord for psychological preparation, meaning, sound, relationships, friendship and common goals among teammates. Training competitions and social gatherings consolidate the team and enhance the feeling of belongings. The coach must encourage the team to act as a unit and should establish specific plans and roles for athletes according to the needs of the team. The next is health factors. So, strengthening each athlete's health is important. Proper health is maintained by periodic medical examinations, a proper correlation of training intensity with the individual's effort capacity, and alternating hard work with an appropriate regeneration phase. Following illness or injury, the athlete must begin training only when completely recovered, ensuring adequate progression. Then the next objective can be the injury prevention. So, prevents injury by following all the safety precautions, increasing flexibility beyond the level of required, strengthening muscles, tendons and ligaments, especially during the initial phase of a beginner, and developing muscle strength and elasticity to such a degree that when athlete perform unaccustomed movement, accident will be unlikely. Then the next objective should be theoretical knowledge. So, training increases athletes' knowledge of the physiological and psychological basis of training, planning, nutrition and regeneration. Coaches should discuss athletes' coach, athletes' opponent and teammates' relationship to help athletes work together to reach set goals. Now, importance of sports training. So, we have just completed the aims and objectives. Now, we will see what are the importance of sports training for any sports person. So, the programming most fitness companies around the countries do is sports specific training. This is fitness training that helps you perform better in your chosen sport. Such programs enables you to improve in areas including strength, power and endurance. Each program has to be tailored to the athlete's individual needs and the type of sports they do. Here are more reasons why sports training is important for athletes. It helps with metabolic conditions. So, the coach trains the athletes to be conditioned to their sports, and if they participate in a team sports, the specific part they play in it. The conditioning work on the athlete's energy level and muscle tissue, so they are prepared for their training sessions and competitions. Then it prevents injury. If athlete and their coaches look at statistics regarding the most common injuries that occurs in their sports, they can use these to find a way to prevent them. The coach can draw up a program to prevent their athletes from getting injured, particularly from non-contact sports. Then it enables you to strike a balance. Some coaches believe athletes should be trained to get stronger and more powerful in general instead of for a particular sports. Others think athletes need to build their strength and power so they can take this into their sports. Then it prepares you physically. Younger athletes are still developing and don't have proper coordination or the strength and endurance as older athletes. These can lead to mistakes being made during training and incorrect technique or form. Then it improves performance. It will improve areas including their speed, power and mobility. Then as they get older, coaches and experts will show them new skills will improve the mental side of their performance as well as the physical side. Then it boosts self-esteem. An effective training program will give athletes the confidence they need and show them how to train properly. They will be able to test their limits and do things they thought they could not. So, this will improve their self-esteem and make them feel happier with themselves, which is important not just in sports but in everyday life. Then other training methods are not as effective. So some athletes only work with coaches instead of strength specialists. Other might see an expert but not very often. They need a team of coaches and fitness professionals and around them who can work with one another to give the athletes the support and information they need. This will help them to perform to the best of their abilities to their sports. Now we have come to a conclusion of today's lecture. So we use the term training in various contexts. We talk of training of teachers, administrators, police and army professional, medical and paramedical functionaries, including working in non-government organization and volunteers engaged in various events. In these contexts, by training we means an organized and systematic instructional process which aims at improving an individual's ability to play their assigned roles effectively and meaningfully. However, this kind of understanding of the term training cannot be applied to the concept of sports training. So, the term sports training is specifically used in the context of athletes, sports and games, which could be a training of sports person, coaches and teachers of physical education. It is also used by scientists and experts who belongs to the field of sports sciences and medicine, sports and biomechanics, exercise physiology, sports psychology and other fields like yoga and science movements. But even in this context, the concept of sports training is understood differently. In this lecture, therefore, we have learned the meaning of sports training, its aims, characters and principles, also about sports skills. So, I hope you understood about sports training, its aims, objectives of sports training and what are the importance of sports training in athlete's life. That's all for today. See you next time. Thank you.